There's no better place than virtual space with infinite possibilities to feel some wanderlust. Backpacks at the ready, we're off on an adventure to uncover some world map territory with these new and upcoming exploration games.
Where to?
Greetings, adventurer. Come, you must be weary from your travels. Sit by our hearthside, take off that backpack containing every weapon, armor piece, gem, potion and plant you've ever collected, and let us tell you about some of the best places we've explored recently, and some we're looking forward to charting later in 2022. If you happen to give us a thumbs up as you sit down, that wouldn't go amiss. And remember to subscribe for more from us every week. Exploration games mean different things to different gamers. It might mean getting knee-deep into a massive AAA open-world RPG or walking around in an indie art project just to take in the sights. We think what all great exploration titles have in common is a detailed world, a sense of mystery, and the ability to go wandering around in it at your own pace, in whatever direction you choose. So from frozen Canadian wilderness to cosmic guitar solo dream worlds via HR Giga, here's some of the best new and upcoming exploration games in 2022.
No way! There's a whole damn theater in here!
Built out of exquisite line drawings, daubed in pastel shades and brought to life with realistic lighting and shadows, Sable's world is one that invites you to explore it as soon as you lay eyes on it. And that's just as well, because it's a really stripped down experience where combat never really breaks out, where puzzles don't tax your brain cells too much, and where the greatest pleasure and primary objective are simply to wander around learning about your environment. That might be a bit dull if there wasn't an ancient civilization's secrets to uncover, a hoverbike to razz around on and customize, and tons of NPCs whose conversations change your perspective on Sable herself and the world around her. Meditative, soothing fun. Ever since Minecraft first came along, we've always fancied ourselves as pioneers. Show us a bit of land, some sticks and a crafting menu, and in a few days, we'll show you a village. It's usually how it goes anyway, right? But when we play The Long Dark, we're reminded that actual nature, the one outside your window, can be as dangerous as it is beautiful. Stranded in the Canadian wilderness, you're battling freezing temperatures, disorientation, isolation, natural predators, and starvation from the second you hit that new game button. That's a stressful afternoon in anyone's book, but even with all that going on, it still feels so peaceful and poignant out here. If you have a tidy base and enough supplies, you can go on hikes for hours and you'll constantly find new details and fascinating landmarks that pull you further in. It's a reminder that survival games don't have to be multiplayer bullet fests. They can be just as effective when they leave you be and let you just commune with nature.
Perfect.
Like the early top-down Zelda games that it draws inspiration from, Tunic's brilliant in finding intrigue in little details and building up a world of mystery just beneath the one we can see, hop about on, and slash at. There's even a mysterious runic language everywhere, which you encounter without explanation or hand-holding. Later on, the cozy forests and streams give way to more futuristic neon industrial scenes, and without a word ever having been spoken to you, you find yourself attuned to this world, attuned to the strange runic symbols, comprehending the plot even though it's told with the lightest of touches. Also, you're a fox, and that really does add a lot to the whole thing. Look at the way your tail waggles about. We never want to be without one now. Aaliyah and her robot companion are archaeologists, sailing the nebula and visiting dig sites where they'll gather more clues about an ancient hieroglyphic language they, and you, are trying to decipher. We've really come a long way since Doom, haven't we? This is Heaven's Vault, and as you'd expect from the developer of 80 Days, there's a real sense of adventure to what you're doing, even though it's conveyed in such simple ways. Text-based conversations, 2D hand-drawn sprites exploring 3D environments, and a lot of time spent figuring out which ancient squiggles mean which words. You're not just exploring the dusty climes of the dig sites here, but also the timeline and history of an entire lost civilization. So when you do uncover a piece of the puzzle, your brain gets whirring about all the ramifications. It's a different way of instilling wonder in us while we play, and a very clever one at that.
My story begins on Iox. That was where I met the robot.
What does a guitar solo look like? Thanks to Beethoven and Dinosaur's brilliantly imaginative platformer, The Artful Escape, we might finally have an answer. And surprisingly, Jack Black's face doesn't feature even a little bit. Instead, you're playing as Francis Vendetti, nephew of the most famous folk musician ever, knee-sliding and shredding your way through a psychedelic space called the Cosmic Extraordinary. You're basically platforming yourself along using the power of your guitar, hitting gnarly sustained notes when you jump and glide through the air, blasting through single-note runs while you're riding on the back of a turtle, and communing with alien life forms.
Names can get carried away.
When you're not charting the environmental embodiment of guitar solos, you get to live out your rockstar fantasies by choosing your stage outfits and doing cosmic talk show interviews. We're not sure about you, but we have always wanted to be asked about our craft by an alien insectoid TV presenter.
Right.
If we need to say any more than the fact that Stray is a third-person cat adventure game to get you excited about it, well, frankly, we've misjudged you. We'd be all in, even if the world we were exploring as a feline was as mundane as our own, and the highlights were a chicken leg poking out of a trash bag. But as it happens, there's a bit more intrigue about Stray's cyber city full of droids and menacing organic creatures. Where have all the people gone, for example? Why don't the robots want to pet us when they see a cat wearing a backpack? Truly strange mysteries, which will be unfurling later in 2022. Ugh. Is it us, or has it just got a whole lot less wholesome in here? We're departing from the world of chill exploration games to something altogether darker and more menacing now with Scorn, an upcoming first-person horror where stepping in entrails is the least of your problems. Alone in an alien environment that owes a lot to H.R. Giger and the Alien movie franchise, you're navigating strange biopunk architecture, trying to make sense of this unsettling new place and solving puzzles that, more often than not, seem to require you plugging yourself into something gross. Even though it's been around in previews for years, this one's still a pretty enigmatic title, and despite all the guts and foreboding atmosphere, we're looking forward to charting its gruesome world later in 2022. Right, you lot, don't get lost out there, okay? Lay a quest marker back at this channel by hitting the subscribe button so you can tune into us whenever we drop something new, and tell us about the exploration games you've discovered in your own travels down below in the comments. Until next time, pet every stray cat, savor every guitar solo, and run like heck from anything with a passing resemblance to Scorn.